Yes, welcome to United Sauce and Wingers, the unofficial Manchester United fan channel, bringing you the unfiltered truth straight from us. Let's get this going. All right, cool. So today, I'm Dominic. This is...
I'm Sean. What's cracking, people?
Yeah. And we're going to get straight to it, right? Today, we're going to discuss how we beat West Ham in 15 minutes. And when I say 15 minutes, I mean 50 minutes of the start of the game, and also this video is only going to be 15 minutes long. That's all we need because we need to get straight to the point, people, right? So this video will help you make sense of that, how we're going to beat them. Subscribe to the channel to get that unfiltered real truth and get that good sensational vibes that we want to do. And I guess we want to hear from you, right? This is a massive game. Tell us your thoughts. Tell us what's going on, because I don't want to lose and I can't afford to lose. So let's just set the scene first, people. Let's set the scene. We are, how many hours away are we? I don't even know. 3 hours, 3.5 hours, whatever it is. Let's set the scene, okay? We're playing West Ham. They have won their last 3 matches, okay? They've taken points of Tottenham, Man City, Leicester, and Wolves. Just to let that sink in for a second. Players to watch for me: Cresswell. He's a really good free kick taker, really good on set pieces, and he's a bit of a trouble. We all know about Declan Rice. Declan Rice is a baller. He likes to keep the ball, keep it moving. He's going to be a generational talent. We've got Bowen, who came out from the Championship. He knows what he's doing, Bowen. Bowen is one of those people that he wants to show that people from the Championship are still good players. I respect him. You've got Sukech, which, you know, this guy, I don't know where he's come from, but he's amazing in terms of his ability and his footwork and his drive. They are players to watch. For me, I'm going to get straight to it, people, right? We're in a situation, right, where if we start the way we need to go on, we can win this game. So I'm going to tell you how we beat West Ham in 15 minutes, right? And then, Sean, you're going to give me your thoughts as well. The way we're going to beat West Ham is to absolutely smother them in the first 15 minutes. And I mean take away that blood, that life support. I mean every single ball we need to chase down, okay? All this get a touch of the ball, see how it's going, pass it left to right. No, we've done games before, okay, when we start off really, really strong and people are like, yeah, this is good, this is good. We need that pressure. Don't let them have any time on the ball. Don't let them play. Don't let Noble become some Maradona. Rest in peace, Maradona, by the way. Don't let him become some Maradona. We need to chase down that ball and not give them any breathing time. I say it again, and I'm going to say it always. We need to make sure we play good, right? In terms of the players, for me, we need to play players with passion, okay? We know we've got some ballers, but we need the passion players. I'm talking about Donny van der Beek. I'm talking about Cavani.
Dan James has to start.
Well, we'll get into Dan James in a second, man. But I'm talking about Cavani. I'm talking about Bruno. And for me, we need to finish our chances. I'm not here for it, for people sometimes saying, okay, they can do it, they can do it. We need to finish our chances, okay? If we're an elite team and we want to be an elite team, we need to finish our chances. So it's a combination of passion in the first 15 minutes. It's a combination of playing the right players who can demonstrate and have the ability to do it in terms of passion and their footwork and their play. And it's about finishing our chances, okay? Ole can put the team out, but it's the players have to finish the job. Tell me your thoughts, Sean. How do you think we can beat West Ham in the first 15 minutes, man?
Okay. So I feel like with this kind of games, I've been looking at this game and I'm thinking to myself, West Ham, yep, they're on a decent run of form. David Moyes has come in, started off bit shaky, but they've picked it up. And like you said, they've taken points off some decent teams, but the best teams have still beaten them. So if you look in the last run, Liverpool beat them. And at the end of the day, Man United, we have to benchmark ourselves against where we want to be. Liverpool are the champions. And if we're playing games like this, Liverpool beat West Ham comfortably, we need to do the same. So for me, when I look at the two teams, I looked at their lineup. I looked at the 11 of West Ham that's been getting all these results. And I'm looking at their team. You've got Ogbonna, you've got Cresswell, you've got Sukech, and I'm looking at these players and I'm thinking to myself, how many West Ham players would get into our squad?
That's a very good point.
Not into our squad.
Sean,
how many West Ham players would get into our best 11?
Sean, I'll tell you right now, I'll take Bowen. Right, he's good. I like him. He's raw. Okay. Sometimes I love Rashford. You know, okay. I do.
That's one.
Okay.
Okay. In your opinion, I disagree. But go on. How many others?
Declan Rice, take him. You wouldn't take Declan Rice.
So that's 2. How many others?
All right, I'll take Declan Rice. I wouldn't take Crest. You know what? Those 2. That's 2 players I'll take.
Right.
You
there
said
you go.
none.
So even whether I agree or disagree with those 2 players is irrelevant. I'll give you those 2 players. That's 2 out of 11.
Yeah.
So what we're basically saying is West Ham should have nothing for us if only 2 of their players will get into our first 11. So when I look at, to me, it's a mentality problem with our players and our team. It's an arrogance. It's a work ethic problem. When these small games, right, the team can get up for the big games, and that's why we perform generally better in the big games. But for these games under Alex Ferguson, these games were almost a give me, right? We wouldn't even talk about these games. West Ham away from home, 3 points, right? And that's a mentality. We need to get the players right mentally for every single game, because games like this, we should be walking over West Ham. They've only got 2 players. And I would argue they've got 0 players. They got 0 players. Jared Bowen, decent player, but he's not better than Rashford. He's not better than Martial. He's not getting in our teammate, right? And Declan Rice, is he better than Van der Beek, Fred? It's debatable.
No, but Declan Rice so for me, a CDM. He's actually a CDM. We've only got 1 CDM at United. We've got Matic.
Fred, he's not better than Matic.
No,
Matic has won 2 Premier League titles.
Wait a minute.
Not better than Matic.
Wait a minute. I think it's arguable, all right, in terms of the pace and how much he can get up down the pitch. Declan Rice is young, full of energy. Matic can play 1 game and go off another game. Declan Rice can play every single game. Look, I'm not saying that we need to buy Declan Rice. I ain't got time for that. What I'm saying to you is that they've got players that could hurt us. They've got Ben Rama.
No.
They've got Bowen. They've got Declan Rice. Like, Noble was some next guy when we played him last time. How Noble come Boston?
What I'm saying, Dom, is that is more about us than it is about them. We've already established they've got nothing for us. So if we show up, we do our jobs, we have the right attitude going into this game, it should be a walk in the park. Now,
but it never happens like that, though.
Whether we do that or not is a different problem. But this is why I'm going to pick players who I know they're going to give me 100% and they're going to come with the right mentality. That's why, for me, for this game, you need to have Dan James starting. Rashford's got an injury. Rashford's got an injury. I'm bringing in Dan James. He's on great form. He scored a beautiful goal for Wales. He scored a beautiful goal for us in his last game. The guy's got his confidence. We need to keep blooding him for minutes and let him build up his confidence, because we've seen what he can do when he's a confident player. So for me, I would be bringing in Dan James on the right for Marcus Rashford. I would be giving Martial a last chance saloon to start on the left midfield.
Okay.
Yep, on the left. He's got to play from the left, and he's got to go. Like you said, first 15 minutes, I want to see him chasing down every ball. I want to see him putting in tackles. I want to see him making up for those misses against PSG. You've got to start Edinson, right? Because we need him. He's shown how dangerous he can be. And then I'm bringing in Fred. Bruno's obviously in the hole, but I'm Fred because we know he's suspended for the next game. Let him run out his legs. And then I'm having Matic holding. Right, so we're going to give us that screen in front of the back 4. We're going to have the energy, we're going to have the protection, but we're also going to have the pace and the attacking dynamism of Dan James, Martial, Bruno, and Cavani, which is going to cause them problems.
So what are you saying?
Excuse me.
What are you saying to JW? JW is my man. Honestly, I really like him, and he's got a point here. Dan James has work rate but no quality. It's true. What we get in defensive and structure, which Ricky always says, United stand, we lose actually going forward. He's in honesty, I think Dan James might be worse in the decision making than Rashford, and Rashford's decision making at the end is terrible. So, so we're going to play Dan James and then be good defensively and structurally, but then going forward, you might as well flick and have a pram up there, just a pram.
Nick, I will tell you what I'm going to say to that guy. I'm going to tell you what I'll say to him. Listen to me, Dan James. I admit his decision making at times is suspect, but we don't need him necessarily right now to bring the quality, because you've got Martial who should be bringing quality. You've got Cavani who should be bringing quality. You've got who else we got in there? Bruno should be bringing the quality. You need balance, and you need someone who's going to work for the team and do the hard yards and the donkey work to make the other players give the other players a platform to play.
Just as JW says here, can Van der Beek do that role? Can Van der Beek
and the right wing?
Yeah,
no,
where
he hasn't got pace. No pace. No electric pace. He's going to slow us down. If Van der Beek's playing, he's got to play in the middle. And to be honest with you, I like Van der Beek, but for this game, I want him to come on the second half. If Plan A doesn't work, then we've got Greenwood, Van der Beek, and Pogba.
You're not starting
and
Van der
Mata
Beek.
for
You're
Plan
not starting
B.
Van der Beek in this game.
No, I'm not starting Van der Beek in this game.
Wow.
I'm bringing in Matic and Fred.
Wow. I want to come back to this point because this is a huge point because everywhere across the whole Twitter universe, everyone's saying to play Van der Beek.
Van der Beek, Van der Beek, Van der Beek.
That's weird.
I had nothing to talk.
But just as I get your thought on this, that you had a sip of peppermint tea. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. If you're not subscribed and you're new, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. We really want to get this going, and we just love football. And we're going to tell you the truth and how it is, and we're going to get everybody involved in these streams. So reach out if you want to actually get involved as well. So coming back onto this, right?
Tom, I've got to come to that point. Yeah, let's come back to that point, right?
Why everybody except you, Sean?
Listen to me.
Everybody except you, Sean, is saying to play Van der Beek. Like I think the whole world. I don't speak for every Manchester United fan, but I see a lot on Twitter, and everybody's saying we have to play Van der Beek.
I see it too.
So what?
Yeah,
tell
I
me
see
why.
it too.
Tell me why.
Okay, I'm gonna flip this on its head because we know Donny Van der Beek's a decent player, but tell me, in a United shirt, right? What has Donny Van der Beek done to walk into this club and everyone has to say he demands a first team place? What has he done? People are acting like this guy's the second Messiah, the second coming of Jesus Christ. What has the guy done? What has he done to deserve that status?
But Sean, Rajizzle says here, criminal not starting VDB because it's important to keep possession. And I completely agree. We are not one of those teams that keep possession. But at the same time, you're saying, what has he done, Sean? But has he been given the opportunity to show what he can do? Like, Ollie's been just playing him just willy-nilly, man. So you're saying, what has he done? We haven't seen the opportunity because he's not been playing. But when we have seen him
that is nonsense.
But when we have seen him
more
playing,
minutes,
he's played good.
What has he done? He's saying he's played good. What has he done? How many assists has he made? How many goals has he created?
He did that key pass before that Bruno assist, whatever. That would never have happened without him.
What are you talking about? No. Bruno, what are you talking about? He scored one goal. He came off the bench against Palace.
He's a team player, man. He's a team player.
What else has he done?
He's a team player.
What has he been done to be given this God status?
But Sean, you haven't given him a chance to actually do it.
The answer's nothing, mate.
But wait, all right. Let me flip this on his head then, right?
He has played, and he's come on, and he's done okay. He's made some good passes, some good runs, some good work rate, but he hasn't done anything to people make him out like he's this god that the whole team cannot win a match without Van der Beek.
No, we're not saying that we can't win a match without Van der Beek, but at the moment we can't win a match without him either. Do you know what I mean? We beat West Brom 1-0. It was a joke, an absolute joke. If you look at it, right, it's true. VDB hasn't dropped one real bad performance. He's played engaging football. He helps the team have that sort of chemistry to keep the ball. Without Van der Beek, we don't really keep the ball. So to say that what has Van der Beek done, it's like me going and saying, well, I play for Man United, which I don't. I haven't played any games. So you're like, well, what have you done? I'm like, well, I haven't played any games yet, mate. You've got to be in the team and playing 5-6 games. Do you know what I mean?
He's played enough games. He's a new signing. Ollie, I think the way Ollie's handled him is absolutely spot on. He's brought him in for some games and then he's taken him out for some games. He hasn't done enough to be like, I must start every game. For me, he hasn't done enough to do that. We've got McTominay. He's been at the club for a long time. He's all heart, work rate. We know what he brings. Fred, he's still been our best midfield player this season, most consistent midfield player this season. So basically what we're saying is Van der Beek is really playing one position and he's going up against Matic, he's going up against Pogba, and he's going up against McTominay. And because he's not playing number 10, right? He's not taking out Bruno out of the team, although he can play there in certain games when Bruno's out injured. But for me, in the double pivot, he's not a guaranteed starter. You can only play him in certain games because you need that defensive, you need that double defensive solidarity. And what people are trying to do is trying to put square pegs in round holes and put him right wing or left wing. Next thing they're trying to put him in goal just to get him on the pitch. It's absolute nonsense, man.
You know what it is, though? You know what it is? Like, people are split, right? And I know this game doesn't all fully come down to Van der Beek, but people are split because we're not playing good enough football. We're not keeping the ball. Are we counter-attacking 1 week? Are we trying to be possession 1 week? What is our identity? What is our style? With Van der Beek, playing him automatically changes the team and the sort of strategy to say, okay, we want to try and keep the ball. Without Van der Beek, there's no sort of essence of, okay, we're going to try and keep the ball. We've got Bruno, who's an absolute G, but he doesn't keep the ball. He gives away the ball more than the flicking referee or the flicking linesman.
So are you saying put Van der Beek in for Bruno then?
Not in the slightest. I don't think I said that.
Okay.
You're going to put some words in my mouth.
So are you saying? So what I'm trying to tell you is, does Matic keep the ball?
Yeah, Matic keeps the ball well.
And I'm saying play Matic for that reason, to keep the ball.
Yeah, but what about the other players?
What about the other players? You're not taking Fred out for Van der Beek, are you?
Well, you could I'll be honest with you, right? I would actually take out because Fred's a bit of a wild. He's a bit of a loose cannon at the moment. You don't know what you're going to get from Fred. I wouldn't mind not playing either one of Fred or Matic and playing Van der Beek without a shadow of a doubt. And for me, Matic is the more natural CDM than Fred. Fred is more box to box. He's good and so forth like that. In the big games, you need him natting at your leg. But for this game, when we're playing West Ham, and I'm not going to disrespect West Ham, I've completely changed my view. I'm not disrespecting any team anymore, right? We can't always say, oh, it's only West Ham. No, they're a team with 11 players. And if they beat us, they can go 3 points away from the top or something. So I'm not disrespecting them. They've got players and they want to win just like us, right? But for me, if we play either Matic and Van der Beek, or we play Fred and Van der Beek, for me, it doesn't matter because we've got the team that want to play football. Do you see what I'm saying?
I think if you play Fred and Van der Beek, I hear what you're saying, to be honest with you. I think if you play Fred and Van der Beek, you can do that in certain games. I think it will work. I think West Ham, I think we've got to pay them a bit more respect.
Yeah, definitely.
Than that. I think that's true. Because like you said, we'll be playing without a natural CDM because Fred's not that guy and neither is Van der Beek. So I think for this particular game, we have to pay West Ham the respect that they're due. We need Matic, and that's why I'm saying Matic over McTominay, because we need someone to keep the ball, dictate the tempo of the ball, and we need Fred's legs, Fred's energy, his tackling, the ground that guy covers in the midfield. If you remember last season against West Ham, we got massively overrun at their pitch, right? We cannot have that again. We need Fred's legs in there for the first hour, work, like you said, first 15 minutes, work ourselves into the game, run their legs off, and then we should either be winning, but if we're not, they're going to be tired. Then we bring on the quality of Greenwood. Then we bring on the quality of Van der Beek. Then we bring on the quality of Pogba to go on and kill off the game. That's my strategy, and that's how I think we win.
Just for me, I think, right, all the fan base, I don't speak for all of them, but we are clever enough to know, okay, that you need a good base. You need it to have some solidity and you need it to be balanced, right? We have only one recognized CDM, Matic, right? He's done it. He's won trophies. He knows what he's doing. Scott McTominay, have you seen the shot on Scott McTominay? People underestimate how good he is at shooting. He's a box-to-box player, right? Got Fred again for Shakhtar, whatever. He was a box-to-box player. He was getting the ball, running, ending up in the box. Still can't shoot, but that's probably why they pushed him back to CDM, right? But for me, we need to play Matic. We need to play Van der Beek. We need to play Bruno. At the moment, I don't care about Pogba. I honestly, I don't care about Pogba. It is a blessing to be able to have him off the bench, right? To give someone else to give a team in West Ham thinking, oh gosh, now I've got to have Pogba who's strong, tactile, who can do things that other players can't. Great. But for me, I think what we need to figure out, right? Because if we're going to beat this team in the first 50 minutes, right, we need to show them what we are about. I think the only player that shows them what we're really about, for me, is Van der Beek. Van der Beek will show how we want to play football. I'm not saying he's the best player or what's he done, but the way he demands the ball, the way he plays it simple, the way he brings that Ajax mentality, it's infectious. It's infectious throughout the whole team. If he comes on and brings the ball, settles down and says, look, don't rush, find the pace, find the pockets, do what you've got to do, it will go around the whole team. Without Van der Beek, we become like bowling pins. We're all individual and we're just waiting to get knocked down. And I don't want to get knocked down because man for man, we have better players than West Ham. Again, I respect them. They've got a coach who's been in the game longer than Ole. I'm not saying he's a better manager. I put it out on Twitter. I said, who's better, Ole or Moyes? And some people took it the wrong way. They're thinking, oh, well, of course, that's a stupid question, blah, blah, blah. But is it? I'm talking about how long has Ole been in the game? How long has Moyes been in the game? What are their credentials? Where are they in the league? What's their philosophy? Do you understand their playing styles? You can look at this question and actually think to yourself, wait a minute, who is better in this current time? Because lots of people are saying that Ollie's not got the credentials, he's not got this. But wait a minute, since January, I think he's got the third most points out of the league in the top 6 teams. He's done well in terms of actually getting those points. So for me, I feel like in the first 15 minutes, it's going to come down to this. We need to lay the smackdown on them and not let them breathe. If we don't let them breathe, we can have the ball. And if we don't let them breathe, the best player to keep that ball, if we're starving them of the ball, is Van de Beek. So for me, Matic needs to start, Van de Beek needs to start, and Bruno. The rest, I don't mind, because if those three players are there, it doesn't matter who's up front. Because Martial, you can't say he's going to score. I hope he does, and I'm backing him to the heels. But we don't know. It could continue where he doesn't score. But I know the quality is there. But Cavani, he's only scored 2 goals. He's played about 4 or 5 games, so he's not prolific yet either.
He scored three goals, Dom. Let's get
3 goals, 3 goals, whatever it is, 2 or 3. I don't give monkeys, right?
Three in his last 2 league games.
Yeah, fine, whatever. And I love that. All I'm saying to you is that no one's like absolutely smashing it right now. No one's smashing it. So for me, if we're saying we have to play Cavani, we have to play Martial, we have to. In honesty, I don't mind who we play up front because we've got players that can score goals. For me, it's who's providing it, how's the team playing, and I think that comes from Van de Beek for me.
Bruno, no, it comes from Bruno. Comes from Bruno. Van de Beek. I think that midfield. Before you go to that chat, the midfield that you think, the only thing I would say about it, if you play Van de Beek and Matic, I feel is that you don't have enough legs in there.
You know what? I disagree with you. I'd love to know what the comments think about if you have Van de Beek and Matic not enough legs. I think we would have enough legs. I honestly do think that Matic doesn't have to go anywhere. All he's got to do is just take a nice little parking space right in front of the defense and just chill. For me, you've got Van de Beek running up and down, and he is young. He's I don't even know how old he is, 23, 22, 24, whatever he is. He's got the legs. You've got Paulie saying there's too much difference in our style of play when VDB starts and when he doesn't. Massively. This is what I was saying before. VDB makes us play differently. And the thing about it, I don't know if we're set up to play that sort of possession football when Van de Beek plays, because he wants to play that possession football, but I don't think the players do. So I completely agree. You got Sufan saying Van de Beek was the best player at PSG and he only played 10 minutes. It's weird. It's weird for me because it's not like we're in a situation where we'll win every game. Style is unbelievable. We're scoring loads of goals. But then we're not playing Van de Beek, who's come from a team who actually play the way we want to play, but with better players. It baffles me. You've got.
I disagree. Dom. This is where I think there's a disconnect. I think Van de Beek plays the way the fans want to play.
Interesting.
I don't think he plays the way that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't want to play like Ajax. He wants to play like Man United, which is fast, paced, which we know is direct play, quick play, wing play, attacking with pace and dynamism, right? It's not this tippy-tappy, one touch, 1 and 2 touch, passing the ball 100 times. Passing the ball 100 times before you take a shot. That's not how we play. That's not how we've ever played. Look at the title of this channel: United Source and Wingers. That's how we play.
It's true. But then I don't understand why we bought Van de Beek then. If you're telling me that we're never going to play possession football, and when we play West Ham in 3.5 hours, that we're not going to play with possession football, we're going to play with trying to be dynamic, the United way. Why have we bought Van de Beek then? Because I think if you're saying it's what the fans want, Sean, that means that the fans want to see good football, right? Why have we bought Van de Beek and we're not actually listening to the fans, playing the football game how it's supposed to be played, really? Because you can't do anything without the ball. Football is a possession-based game. I don't want to be a counter-attacking team.
Don't misconstrue what I'm saying, because I'm not saying let's not keep the possession. What I'm saying is there's passing for passing's sake, and then there's passing with a purpose. And Fergie always said your first option should be hit your striker. Your first pass has always got to be forward, right? Your second pass is then sideways, and then your third pass is back. Now, there's times in between that where you might need to kill the game, where you might need to keep possession. Because even when we play direct, I'm saying we still should have more of the ball than the opposition. I'm not saying give up possession. But what I'm saying is there has to be a different way of playing at different times in a game. And we need to be able to counter-attack and be able to keep possession at the same time. Whereas the likes of Ajax, the likes of Man City, their whole game and their whole style is around possession-based football. So it's a different style. So I think that's something that the fans need to correct. And they need to take that on board.
Well, for me, I understand what people are saying. I get this. And I'll tell you right now, though, if we do not come out of the blocks against West Ham, and you clip this, do whatever you want. If we do not come out the blocks, chase down every ball, attack the goal, we will not win this match. If we go out with the players we have and attack this ball and say, we need to win this game, we have a right to be on this pitch, we can win this game. You know the worst thing about this that people are not really talking about that much, that West Ham will have fans in the stadium. They'll have fans.
Yeah.
And don't tell me that makes no difference. Can you imagine, right? You're playing in flicking Sunday football, right? You're playing in the park, some nice trees, there's an ice cream van out, right? And all your friends and family got on the wrong bus or wrong train, so you're just playing football. But then all the other teams, friends and family, all came down in caravans, trains, buses, planes, and they're like, come on, Joey. That's going to get in your head. When you goes out, you do a loose touch, you're going to be like, oh, and you're going to get that one guy in the corner having a flicking hot dog going, yeah, you're rubbish. For me, right, West Ham, this is set up today for them to win this match if they want to, because they know that we're in a form where we win, we lose. They won their last 3 games. They've taken points off Tottenham, Wolves, all these big teams, Leicester City. They got their fans. They're at home. It is perfectly placed for West Ham to go and win. But one thing they're not thinking about is that we have superior players, right? We do, for a fact. We talked about at the beginning of the stream, who would we take from West Ham in our team? We'll probably take Declan Rice and Bowen and Benrahma. All right, we don't know if they'll start in our team.
I'm not taking any of them, but
I'll take them.
You will take them. You take
I'll
them.
Take them.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You sell out our players for those.
I would never sell out.
Yeah.
I want depth. I don't want to see any Rojo, Jesse Lingard. Look, the guy's great, but he's not going to add anything to our team. I want to improve our bench, right? So I would take those players. But for me, they're thinking, right, we've got these players. Man United are thinking, okay, we've got these players. This is going to come down to attitude and belief. And I hate saying that sometimes, because you think, well, it should come down to whoever's the better team. But in the situation we're in with no fans,
come down to that.
In a situation we're in with no fan in the pandemic, it comes down to belief, passion, and making sure you believe in what you're doing. If Rashford really believed in what he was doing, when he ran down that ring in the previous game and he just kind of ran to a dark hole, if he believed in himself, he would have scored. He would have even got a shot.
I'm not having this. Why are you digging out Rashford?
I'm not digging him out.
People say digging about Rashford and Rashford.
I'm not digging out Rashford. I love Rashford, man.
Martial, if he believed in himself, he should have scored those bloody goals.
I could go through every player, Sean. I just choose Rashford because when you really like a player.
Let's not choosing Rashford. Rashford had a good game.
No, Sean. When you really like a player, and say you got a son or a daughter, and you really want to do well, so you're a bit more hard on them. That's all I have with Rashford, because I know he's a baller. I know he could be world class. So I use Rashford as an example, and because he's well known. But I could go through every single player in that team and tell you that they could do this, they could do that. Ultimately, we just need to win this game, and we can win this game by the attitude and the conviction that we possess. And I want to be after the game. I want to be back on this stream, doing a match reaction, telling you, Sean, in the first 15 minutes, we show them what we're about. In the first 15 minutes, we came out the blocks. It died down afterwards. But because we showed them what we were about at the first 15 minutes, we got this. That's what I want to come to. I don't want to have a match reaction after this where I'm like looking like I've just sucked an egg. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I don't think we have to do it. But we have to be prepared to go out of the blocks and show them what we're about, because they are on form.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna say, any fans watching this, right? I want you to closely, I'm not saying you haven't already, but start closely pay attention to Donny van der Beek, right? And his game and the game that he's playing. I want you to closely watch him, and I want people to put in the comment sections. Let's mark down anything notable he does in the game. How many chances he creates, how many tackles he wins, how many interceptions he makes, and how many goals he scores. Because in those positions in the midfield, those are the things that we need him to be doing. Say right now, he's not going to make more tackles or interceptions than Fred. His ball retention, it will probably be equal or similar to Matic. I don't think there's anything in it. He's not. The only thing he should really be doing is he's going to score more goals than Bruno, make more chances than Bruno. It's not happening. So in all of those key areas, he's not doing anything and above the players that are already in his position. And I think all he's going to do is take the ball one touch and move it forward. Okay, and there's times where we need that, right? We do need that. But what I'm saying to you is he's not this messiah and he's not this essential cog in the team that people think for us to get results. Well, I think are demanding for is for him to come in and play like Ajax. Well, newsflash, guys, it's Man United, and Ole's not going to do that. Well, so we need to get that out of our head and look at what is best for the team on that particular day and for that particular situation.
Okay, all right, fine. Sean, you said it. I disagree. I think Van der Beek is. I go more different stats and stuff, but look, we'll see. We'll see the game.
Let's have a look. We'll see at the end of the game. Yeah,
we'll see the reaction, right?
At the end of the game.
Guys, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and check out the match reaction straight after the game. We're going to talk about it. We're going to dissect it. I'm going to tell you the truth, right? My thoughts are, again, we need to come out the blocks to win this game. And if we show them what we mean in the first 15 minutes, it doesn't matter if it dies down after the first 15 minutes. That's fine. Games go up and down. But if we show them what we're doing in the first 15 minutes with passion, work rate, passing, keeping the ball, we can win this game. They just need to believe in themselves and execute the game plan. Guys, we'll see you straight after
predictions.
The match. After the
game, we need predictions.
All right. Prediction. We'll go with. I'm going to say 3-1 United.
I'm going 2-0.
Peace out, guys.